Oh, hi there. I've gone over this subject many times in previous videos. This one is to more or less clarify and update the status of my sore throat. I really don't want to even make videos about this anymore. I don't want to complain about it. I just want an answer on how to fix it. I've learned many things. When I first approached my GP about this problem, I explained that I was on antipsychotic medication called Clopixel, that I did drink quite a bit, and she prescribed me a drug called Tecta, pantoprazole. It's along the class of prazols, which are proton pump inhibitors. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's an antacid type thing. It controls the acid in your stomach, because she believed that it was stomach acid coming from my stomach up to my upper esophagus, or at least that's what she told me. I have strong reason to suspect that it's actually the antipsychotic medication that's caused this sore throat. Just about nobody, my GP, especially my psychiatrist, they will not admit anything. And I cannot get them to change their minds about anything. They just, they got, they've got a compulsive thing where it has to be a certain way with them. And every time I have a conversation with them, I walk away not knowing anything more or how to better my situation or anything that can help. They do that on purpose so that I never can learn how to fix this problem. All they'll say is, stop drinking, take your Tecta, and it'll go away. Well, I have gone periods without drinking, and I've taken Tecta. I have a wedge pillow. I drink water before I go to bed. I don't eat 3 hours before I go to bed. I do everything I'm supposed to do, and it doesn't work. And they just don't listen to me. My locum, what she did when I saw her, was afterwards she prescribed me another Prazole. And I asked her, is this a Prazole? She said, no, it's a different class of medication. I go to the pharmacist, ask him. That's when I found out it was a Prazole, and it's not a different class of medication. So she lied, or she was wrong. Either way, it's not acceptable. I can understand from the GP's perspective, they think it's stomach acid. That going into the upper part of the esophagus, where it's not protected from acid, is going to cause irritation. But if you suppress the acid's not going to splash up into the esophagus, and therefore to get better. But it hasn't. It hasn't gotten better in 3 years. They just do not listen to me when I tell them that it's not working. They don't want to listen to me. They cannot be wrong. But they are wrong. They've been uncooperative in so many ways. Like, they have what are mechanisms. Just particular mannerisms, behavior, speech, where they inhibit my ability to learn anything, to have discussion with them. They just don't want to know about it. They're always running out the door or going, oh, we're on a time basis thing here, we got to get going. And they've not answered any questions, and they've not done anything. And I know they turn around and go, oh, he's after something, he's after some sort of drug, he's a shopper, or whatever they want to call you. But I'm not. I want answers on how to get my sore throat away, make it go away. I know it's the antipsychotic medication. I've had many weird experiences with psychiatrists and doctors where they've inadvertently or on purposely said something, and in such a way that I can never bring it back up with them because they'll deny they ever said it, or they'll go they don't remember, or I'll have a different doctor and they pretend that they don't share notes, and nothing gets accomplished. Like I had one doctor who told me that it's a good thing that I have a sore throat. That's psychotic. That's a psychotic thing to say to someone. I can only imagine that they said that, or he said that, because he felt if I have a sore throat, therefore I will not drink as much, therefore it's better long term for the overall health of my body. And I would hope that it just means that my sore throat is superficial and it isn't a long-term health problem here. And recently, when I went to the locum GP, she told me I had nothing organically wrong with me. Nothing organically wrong with me. Well, I don't feel that way. On Christmas Day, I felt real lousy all day long. My throat hurt, and you were just not listening. And I've dealt with other doctors who are clearly, they're lunatics. Absolute lunatics. Like I was explaining to one on the nurse's line, saying, yes, I was taking Clopixel, it's blah blah blah, this and that, and they did not even know what Clopixel was. They started saying, is it Clopix? Is it this? Is it that? And I went, no, it's Clopixel. It's on Google. I'm not making this up. And they pretend they didn't know what it was. And I don't know what the game is here. I don't understand. And there's just little instances where like little pockets of information come up, and they're not to inform me. They're to keep me just as lost and just as confused as I ever was. I know a lot of these topics I've already brought up in other videos, but I wanted to summarize them all in one video. I must be tied up in red bureaucratic tape because I'm just getting nowhere with these people. They do not want to solve the problem, and now I'm on a new medicine called Invega, which I do not trust at all because it can cause difficulty swallowing and a sore throat, among a whole pile of other things, even death. So I don't trust this medication. I know doctors take things into consideration and have deemed it that the health benefits outweigh the negative side effects. Well, guess what? After the way I've been treated, I don't trust my doctor. I don't trust my psychiatrist. I just do not trust them. Never going to trust them again. They've lied to me on several occasions, and they're just going to keep lying. And they think I'm just going to roll over and play dead, and that just is not going to happen. I have a way of getting back at them. I'm not taking that Invega next injection, because I don't think it's honestly going to help. It really isn't. My doctor never clearly promised that it would, and he did that on purpose because he didn't, well, they don't want to promise anything. They don't want to do anything. They just want to give you medicine and have you go away. One of the problems with Invega is it's a 1-month injection, so if I get sick and I can't go to work because of this sore throat that I have, because of what I suspected because of the Clopixel, then I can't get a note fast enough for me to get back to work. Seeing a doctor once a month is not good enough. That gives them too much time to hide, too much time to avoid answering questions, and it keeps me on the medicine without him actually having to do anything. So I'm unsatisfied. I don't think they've got the right treatment plan for me. And it doesn't matter if they don't want to accept it. They're going to have to accept it one day that they are wrong. They're always going to be wrong, and that is never going to change. They've treated me wrong. They've done wrong. And I've seen things, and I've felt things, and I've gone through experiences, and I have nothing nice to say about mental health. I have nothing nice to say about psychiatrists. I have nothing nice to say about GPs. They're the scum of the earth, all of them. I've had this problem way too long, and it ain't got nothing to do with alcohol, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything else. It has directly to do with that psychiatrist's medicine. I'm real frustrated. Some of my other videos I made on silent reflux and LPR and that sort of stuff, earlier ones, were somewhat successful videos, but there's only two types of people that actually watch them. There were those who were in a similar situation to me, and unfortunately I couldn't give them advice that was going to help. And two, there are the trolls on those particular videos who reinforce misinformation. I didn't intend to get misinformation. I just didn't know any better. I knew that was the best, to my knowledge, of what the situation was. But I've heard things, I've seen things over the past while. I've had one doctor I saw one time and he disappeared after that, didn't know his name, didn't know anything about him, where he's like, no, it's not alcohol, it's the medication. And I believed him. I don't know if he just said that to confuse me or whatever, but like I said, I've gone through periods of not drinking. I've don't eat before I go to bed. I drink plenty of water. I have a wedge pillow. I take the Tecta or the Pantoprazole. I stopped taking it about 6 months ago, actually. I just started taking Ridididine because I had that on a prescription list, and I didn't pay for it, so whatever. It's like a Zantac. I guess it's better than nothing because I was getting real bad heartburn every day from not taking the Tecta. It's just I see no way out of this problem. It just feels like it's never going to go away. They're never going to listen to me. I could walk away from my psychiatrist, mental. I can walk away. I have that option. I'm a voluntary patient. I can leave. But if I leave, if and when, and when is the word, I get sick again, I won't have someone to immediately write a note for me to explain my absence. So I have to keep going to mental health. And the thing is, mental health doesn't want anything to do with me if I'm not taking my medicine. In fact, they don't want anything to do with me anyway. They just want me to take medicine and send me on my way. It's always been that way. Don't ever want to explain anything. Don't ever want to do anything. They don't even like writing notes for me. And it's the very, very least they can do. After all the problems they've caused me, after everything they've done, they can go fuck themselves. They're fucking assholes. And I know enough about them to really, really fuck them up as far as informing people, not just here. I have other platforms where I can inform people of how screwed up fucking psychiatrists can be, how they're fucking twisted logic, and how despicable they can be, and how low down and dirty and underhanded they like to be. They're overpaid sacks of shit. Stalin had the right idea when it came to dealing with certain people. Free trip to Siberia for you. It's just an overall real frustrating experience. Like, I felt like my sore throat could have been solved a long time ago. As I said, I have moderate erythema and edema, redness, watery fluid, which means swelling in the esophagus, and I think that all has to do with the Clopixel I was on. I agreed to take Invega because I felt maybe a switch up of medication would help. I started reading the side effects, and I started going, I don't think this stuff's going to help. I really don't. So far, I've been on it for a few weeks. It was an injection. They hit me hard with it, 250 milligrams in a month. And all I feel is really sleepy. I don't feel much different than I did before. I feel just as sick as I ever did. And nothing is ever going to change with these people unless I make them do something. And exposing them for their lies. Because a lot of people go, oh, that, like, when I accuse psychiatrists of being witch doctors, that's one thing I like to do. People go, oh, psychiatrists aren't witch doctors. And I feel like saying, have you fucking dealt with a psychiatrist? No, you haven't. So who the fuck are you telling me that I'm wrong when I've been dealing with them for 6 years? Like, these people, they deal with psychiatrists, and it's all because, oh, I'm depressed, I got anxiety, blah, 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 blah. And they throw an antidepressant at them, and that fucking makes them feel sick for that reason. But the difference is they stop taking it and they feel better again. Or they feel a lot worse. One way or the other. With me, I have no idea. I could be off this stuff for a year and still have this sore throat caused by the medication. I don't know that. I think they deliberately poisoned me. I don't think they're very good at their jobs. I don't think the pharmaceutical company is very good at making medicine yet. I think they're still in their primitive state. And as I've said in other videos, but I'll sum it up in this one as well, they need test subjects. They constantly have to change variables and continually monitor patients. And it's not like you're in a hospital every day. It's not like you're having your blood checked every week. They can do it just enough so that you feel like they're not paying attention to you at all, but they're examining you. Like when I had a blood test a few weeks ago to check for my blood sugar and cholesterol, and the only reason my psychiatrist was interested in that is because Invega is bad for that. It can make diabetes worse. It can give you high cholesterol and all that other shit. He wouldn't have cared otherwise. But because it was in his neck of the woods because of the medication he was about to prescribe me, the Invega, he decided for me to go have a blood test on diabetes and that. And that's just taking his word for it. Who knows what else he was looking for? I don't know. Could have been looking for anything. Because I don't trust them. They've lied to me before, and they will lie again and again and again and again and again and again. As many times as they have to. And this is only when they have no other choice but to say something. The thing is, with my sore throat, if I don't keep pushing the issue every time I see them, they'll forget. They'll conveniently forget. They'll just go, everything's back to normal, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, everything's not back to normal. You didn't fix the problem. You're ignoring it, and you want me to stop asking so you can pretend you forgot. You're a fucking asshole. Swear to God, 1,000 years ago, all their heads would be on spikes on my front lawn. Fucking can't stand those sons of bitches. Yeah, I'm at a loss of ideas of what to do. I know they don't want me drinking at all. They don't even want me having a sip of alcohol. They blame it for everything in my health problems. And it's not the only health problem that's coming about. I think I'm starting to get asthma. Because I'm just like constantly out of breath. Especially even when I'm walking fast. And walking fast is a thing I used to like doing. So I don't understand why I can be getting that. And it isn't like because I'm like 24 hours a day drunk. I hardly ever get drunk anymore. I get drunk like once a month. Not because I'm not willing to get drunk. It's because I physically do not feel capable of getting drunk. I'll get really sick if I get drunk. So maybe I have a beer every day or every other day, but I don't get drunk. I don't drink enough to say that. It is clearly this medication that's making me feel physically ill. And as I said in another video, it's better to feel physically ill but not be ill than feel great but be physically ill inside. So, but ideally, you don't want to feel sick. You don't want to be sick in the inside. So, I feel this problem could be resolved. I have other avenues of expressing my concerns, interests, my knowledge, all the things I know about mental health, how to deal with GPs and things like that. And I am perfectly willing to share this information to people who really need that help. Because these doctors, these psychiatrists and all them, they like to act like they're there to help, but they're not. They're there to make money and prescribe big pharma's medicine, and they don't care if you feel like shit. They don't. They obviously didn't care with me. They don't care. They don't even want to listen. They want to ignore it. It's like, because my throat doesn't sound hoarse, it doesn't sound, rough or anything like that. Therefore, I don't know what they think, but they either think I'm lying about it, but just to score painkillers or something like that. I don't want painkillers. I just want the sore throat to go away. As I explained, there's a difference between feeling good and actually being healthy. If I wanted feel-good medicine, I'd go downtown on a dirty street and fucking be shooting up or something. I don't want that. I just want a fucking answer for my sore throat. And because it's their medicine that's causing this, the onus is on them to fix it. I'm just sick and tired of this problem, and I just do not see any way how it can be resolved. Because as I said, they want me to roll over, play dead, and pretend it's not happening. Well, guess what? I feel it every day, and it's not brought on by stress. Fucking doctor telling me it's brought on by stress. The stress and pain receptors are so close to each other that blah blah blah. No! This is a physical thing. This is real. I know I have a sore throat because of this medicine. Yeah, the specialist test, tube down the throat into the stomach, tube up the nose, down the throat. The tube down the stomach, that whole area down there, unremarkable. Tube up the nose, down the throat, that was deemed moderate erythema and edema. I've looked partially down my throat. I don't know what shade of red is the right color or not, but I've seen pictures on the internet of white blotches and that kind of stuff, and I don't have that. I've done the feel down here. So a nurse on the nurse's line said that could be, if you had swollen glands, it would be like marbles there, but no, I don't have that. And I think that's part of why there's no urgency to do anything from their perspective. They don't care if I'm in pain, so long as with the snap of a finger, they could make it go away. But then I won't have learned my lesson, and their psychology behind their medicine, and the whole thing they've been doing this whole time will be wrong. And people are going to know they were wrong. They're going to know their treatment didn't work. That's going to make very intelligent people look bad. And I just don't care. I don't care if people lose their jobs over this, or their fucking credibility goes down the shitter. I don't care about any of that stuff anymore. All I care about is my throat. And some people will go, well, if you're able to ruin the careers of a few people, and all you had to do was a whiny sore throat for a few years, then you're just a little crying little baby. I don't agree with that at all. I'm not out to ruin people's careers or anything like that. I will if I have to, though. I will goddamn well do it. I'll ruin anyone's career over this. I have no sympathy for people who have their perspective of how treatment should be for me. I want to feel normal, and I want everything to go back to the way it was, and I see no reason it can't be done. And just pounding home simplistic messages, pounding home simplistic medicines over and over again is not working, and it is never going to work, as I said. So anyway, I'm going to keep making videos as I learn more things about my condition, very slowly learn things about it. I mean, it's insulting because the amount of information I have on it, I could have learned in an hour, but I've had this sore throat for 3 years. They're so stingy with handing out information, and I have to pay attention to everything they say, because even the smallest details they'll only say once, and they'll say it in such a way that I'll never get an explanation as to why they said it, what they were thinking. I won't even get to know their names or anything. It's just like, and what I was hearing about the specialist reports and how I had to ask twice for them, the doctor's like, well, it used to be that you wouldn't even get them. I'm like, why should we trust any of you assholes? You're not there to help people. You're there to fucking make people have problems so that you have justification to have work. I don't, like, all they want to do is throw prescriptions at you. I'm 30 years old, and I'm dependent on medications. That's not healthy. It just isn't. I see the need for there to be a pharmaceutical industry and to create medicines that help people, because sometimes there's just natural defects in the body, and as you get older, your body starts to wear out, and you need a little whatever the things you need with these pharmaceuticals. But if you're young and you're healthy, you don't need medicine. I shouldn't need medicine. But the sore throat, there most certainly is something available out there. I have no idea what it is. I cannot learn it on Google. They've never accepted me in a medical school. Every doctor, psychiatrist, or whoever I speak to, I'm on a red flag list. Like, I'm never going to get any information out of any of them. So there's no way for me to learn. And one of us is going to roll over and just go along with what the other person thinks. And maybe I got a bit of a big head and I think that it's going to be them. But I have a few aces up my sleeve. And I've seen them flinch already. And I can do a lot worse than that. Invega, expensive medicine. Dexilant, expensive medicine. All these other sort of things. People don't have to take it. It isn't going to improve their lives. But it will fuck up investors who invest in these expensive medicines. Because a medication costs a lot of money does not mean it's good. Does not mean it's better than any other medication. Quite often it's untested, unexperimented on. That's why if you got coverage and they're offering you an expensive medicine, don't take it. Fuck them. It isn't going to help you. Anyway, I'm feeling real lousy right now. You wouldn't know it by the sound of my voice, but my throat is real discomfort. Every day I have to deal with this shit. And my doctors, they don't care. However, you want to play like that? I don't care if you look bad. So, you want to play war? We'll play war. Anyway, talk to you guys later.